Ladies and gentlemen, X-Men 97, Episode 5 changes everything. Welcome back to the channel, folks. As you can see, I have with me again my partner here, Molly Mall. X-Men 97.
What's going on, people?
Yes, my fault. Like I said, this X-Men 97 Episode 5 was everything I wanted and more. I'll start by saying this before we jump into it. I've watched as much X-Men as I possibly can, right? I watched Pride of the X-Men back in the 80s. I watched, obviously, X-Men the animated series. I've seen every episode also of X-Men Evolution. I've seen Wolverine in the X-Men, every episode. I've seen every episode of the X-Men anime. This may be, Maul, the best episode of X-Men I've ever seen, given that I watched all those X-Men.
You never lie. You never lie.
Like this was amazing. Now, I know you have some feelings and some thoughts about what went down here in this.
Oh, do I? What?
So we're gonna jump right into it, right? Get down here to that last, I don't know, 10 to 12 minutes of the show where everything goes crazy. Maul, tell me, go jump around. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts? Just go for it.
First and foremost, shout out to my man Nightcrawler. They finally brought in Nightcrawler on the scene of this, man. Woo! Man, I was very impressed with the whole the island. I loved it. Like, the mutant island. That was awesome, man. That was
Genoshia,
awesome.
yep.
Genoshia, yeah, man. With all of that said, I'm gonna need everyone to put their cards up, man. I'm gonna need everyone to put a card up here. Right now, I got the Black King of Spades here, man. And if anyone's seen episode 5, y'all know what this is about, man. Okay? I'm trying to not do any whistleblowing here on this, but
no. Okay, what you say right now? Spoiler alert. Go for
it. Hey, you said enough said. Okay, here we go. First things first. You know what? I'm hearing Doja Cat in the back of my head talking about, I got a man, but I want you. You know what I'm saying? Because, wow.
Wait, say, I lost you for a second. Say it again.
Oh, yo, she's the worst, man. She's the worst. Yo, she's the worst. Here we got my man. He's sitting here and he's pouring his heart out, right? He's like, listen, all we need is love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been down good to you since day one, and I loved you in spite of everything. And we got Ro talking about, yeah, but I'm gonna need some. And you know what? You have the inability to feel people physically. You know what I mean? I understand that.
Yeah.
That's the defect of your power. I feel bad for you, whatever have you, but you got a good dude, you know what I mean, who's always down for you no matter what, in spite of anything and everything. And man, it's one thing to be like, you know what, I'm gonna leave you because I'm missing that physical touch. And he respected that. He was like, all right, no problem, all right, whatever, it's cool, right?
He did, yeah.
But here's my concern here. How you gonna put him out on Front Street? Like, you went in front of his peoples, all the people who respected him. You're just gonna start like straight slobbing down Magneto in front of everybody. You
in
couldn't do
front
that
of
discreetly.
everybody.
Yo, you couldn't do that discreetly. Like you just broke up with homeboy. You know he was gonna feel something about that. Only after you sitting here slobbing down Magneto, do you all of a sudden get an epiphany of saying, you know what? He's right. I'm like, you serious? Are you serious? Man, I put my card back up again, man. You know what, Gambit, man? Yo, listen, man. Forget that hoe, man.
Well, as we see Jamal was Maul here is in his feelings.
Listen, I'm definitely in my feelings on that. Shout out to my weirdos. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, so
I got this at the anime convention. Shout out to all my people at the anime convention.
with the anime peoples. Um, so, folks, if you haven't seen this episode yet, please run and see this episode.
Oh, you gotta see it, man. You gotta see it.
The way they played this episode out, Maul, was so masterful. Where you're kind of going through like they go to the island of Genoshia.
Yes.
It's big celebration. Genoshia's joining the UN, and you have Magneto, Rogue, and Gambit, as you mentioned, going to the island to represent the X-Men. I'm not sure if you caught that, but it was originally supposed to be Rogue and Magneto going, and Gambit kind of said, "No, I'm going to, I'm going to,
yeah.
leaving you, my girl."
Let me ask you this:
Uh-huh.
it's safe to say that Magneto knew the whole time that he was setting this up. He knew it
to try to get at her,
to make Rogue his queen for that, because he knew that this is where it was going.
I don't think he knew. I think he wanted to get her alone, yes, but I don't think he knew that they were going to offer him the king role. But he took that opportunity to then like, okay, now I'm going to use this to try to get her back. So
he's the one. Wait, he's the one who created Genoshia. So like, how could he?
He was, and one of the things that I did want to mention was, so with Genoshia now, it's now a democracy, so to speak, where like you have a council that rules it, and on that council they picked two of the worst people ever to be on that council, in the White Queen, Emma Frost,
Shout out to Emma Frost, baby,
and Sebastian Shaw. I think his title is the Black King. And if you know anything about old school Emma Frost and old school Sebastian Shaw, they're all about power, acquiring power, taking it. At some point, they were going to try to take over Genoshia. Like Magneto they had Magneto as a figurehead, and I like to see that the fact that they were using the original old school version of Emma Frost, who was more villain, versus the new school Emma Frost, who was more like hero / teacher. So and she was definitely getting a few jabs in there here and there. When Valerie Cooper comes into the party, and she's like, we need to talk, assemble the council, and she's like, why? It's because of your dress. So she had little jabs all over this episode. Oh, so petty. So petty. One of the things I loved about this episode was in arriving to Genosha was you got to see all these different characters make cameos. So you mentioned Nightcrawler, also
yes,
one of my favorites. One of
Shout
my
out
favorites.
to Nightcrawler.
You had Exodus, who I know Chuck mentioned in the first video we did. He was big on Omega level mutants, and I put that list of Omega level mutants on that first video we did. So and Exodus is on that list. Like I said, we had Emma Frost, Sebastian Shaw. We have Moira McTaggart there, showing for the first time this season. We've seen her. We had Pixie, Archangel, the Morlocks, Valerie Cooper, who I mentioned. We had Dazzler, Banshee, Avalanche, and Marrow. And I know there's a few people that we missed. But one of the things
we got an important one though.
I was going to say, I was gonna say.
What you go ahead? What you say? What you gonna say? Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I don't know if you're thinking the same thing, but the Watcher was there, and I didn't actually catch the Watcher when I first watched it the first time. But the Watcher, as we all know, if the Watcher is there and he's watching you, then something big is about to happen. It is usually not something good. So that's who I caught. Who are you thinking?
The man of the hour.
Oh, you know what, Cable, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got you. So Cable was actually top of my list. I was saving him for last, right? But no, it's fine because as I mentioned before, Cable is again one of my top two favorite X-Men characters. Period. But I got to see Cable. And for those who didn't know, it was confirmed that Madeline is his mom, and he was the baby that was taken to the future. But I love the way this played out more. At the scene you just mentioned about the makeout session and how she said how she finally got to the point where she was like, you know what, I should be with Gambit. And then disaster hits. It is like the quick flash scenes and people flying over the place. And like, I told you guys before, I wanted to see one thing, one event happen. It was a mutant massacre on Genoshia where they killed 16 million mutants. And I
crazy.
thought I was ready for it. I was not, Marvel. Disney Plus, Kevin Feige, I was not ready for it.
Well done.
It was, I thought I was prepared for it. I was not. It was the most exciting thing I've seen in an X-Men cartoon ever. But well, okay, so we saw Cable. We got to see that fight scene. But we talk about Gambit. Gambit went all out in this episode, Maul. Tell me what you thought about how they treated Gambit in this episode.
Once again, I'm holding up my card here. I'm holding up my card for my man Gambit, man. He threw on the end. He showed the skills. Like, you know, he went hard on the I don't even know what the name of the damn thing was. What was it?
The Sentinels.
Yeah, on that crazy ass Sentinel. He was big as hell. And he just, he went hard on it, man. Unfortunately,
I mean,
my man pulled a Predator. He pulled a Predator on him.
So the Sentinels we saw in this episode, right? They're known as Wild Sentinels, and as I mentioned before, when I talked about Charles Xavier's sister, Sandra Nova, she was the one who initiated all this in the books to have this mutant massacre happen. In that story arc, E is for Extinction, but I don't know if they're using her for this. So because Mr. Sinister is the main villain of this season, I'm not sure if they switched it up to have him be the one who initiated it, but the way this went down and the way like these guys went out, and again, I know Cable's involved, so there's a strong possibility we'll get a lot of these people back or people return, but to see, again, spoiler alert, to see Magneto go out the way he did, to see Gambit go out the way he did, I sat there and I was like, oh my goodness. And knowing how the X-Men were in the past when they killed off Morph, he came back like a season or two later, maybe in the first season. I don't remember exactly, but he was gone for a while. I'm wondering how long Magneto and Gambit will be gone for, because then that changes the whole complexion of the show and what's going on with this show. So, go ahead.
And you would have thought that was like the worst or the meat of the story, but there was a whole nother thing going on. You find out that Scott is sitting here having mental cheating with Emma?
No, Madeline.
With Madeline Gray, like they're sitting here having like mental relationship connection going on,
You know what's funny?
and get caught by Jean, like
You know
in a
what?
mental thing.
You know what's funny? You slipped up and said Emma, but in the books, it was Emma he was cheating on Jean with.
Wow.
And that mental,
Wow.
the whole mental state, mind you, right? I was listening to a review of this, not our review, obviously, because our review's being filmed now, but and it came up about how he was cheating on Jean, and my girl was next to me, and she was like, wow. So I was like, this episode was definitely crazy, and we were talking about Cyclops and that interview he gave to the news reporter, right?
Yo,
And
he went off script, didn't he?
oh, did he ever? When you talk about you guys are lucky we're not like you guys, otherwise you wouldn't be alive. And I was like, no, I think this is the first step into that Cyclops turn where I was telling you guys he goes to the dark side and he doesn't care who he takes out to achieve the goal.
I see
It
it.
it's and to see his reaction, everyone else's reaction when they saw what happened in Genoshia on the news, they were in shock and like they couldn't speak, and his reaction was straight anger, like he wanted to get at somebody.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
so so I picked up on that, and I was like, okay, all right. I might, if we get that version of Scott, I'm all in. I'm all in for it.
That's crazy, crazy. Oh, I also
So
gotta give a shout out to my man Wolverine. My man kept it loyal. He kept it loyal, didn't he? Yo,
he
he kept it
did. He
loyal.
did. He did the exact opposite what you told him to
But he kept it loyal, right?
do. He did. He did. I give it to him because she came on. But so this brings up the other point here that I was thinking about. Right? She got real mad at Scott about that whole Madeline Pryor thing. But
Right. But I mean, you ain't
but
gonna use me.
but
You ain't gonna use me, dog. No.
but then she went at Wolverine and was like, I was like, okay. Before that happened, I was like, weren't you just tonguing down Wolverine before you came in the
Yeah,
house?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, no, what's no, it's the rules are good applied to you, but not to
Mm,
me. So I
mm.
just want to put that out, ladies. If y'all watching, ladies,
Don't go there, bro.
like, and I also want to make a point of one of the things that visually that I picked up on was that end scene where Rogue is holding Gambit in that ditch, and that was very reminiscent to me of the Death of Superman
Mm.
cover where Lois is holding Superman in a ditch, and I thought that was I'm pretty sure that was done intentionally, yes. Oh, and I think that was it was a really great way to end the episode was with like you see that and you fade to black and Gambit is gone, gone,
That's crazy.
absolutely. So next week we get the follow up to episode 4, so part 2 of Life Death, that the storm, and um I'm forgetting his name right now.
Adversary?
Forge,
Oh,
the
Forge.
adversary. Yeah, Forge adversary storyline. So you get the follow up to that. So we don't actually get a follow up to this Genoshia issue. Probably not until maybe the week
Mm.
after, I believe. So you're killing us here. You're killing us. But
Yo, yeah, for real, for real. This is a lot. This is a lot going on right now.
this is one of the things that I loved about the X-Men, and it did in the original series run as well, was that they have these multiple storylines going on, and it wouldn't pick back up to a bunch of episodes later on, and you were like, you finally get the payoff to it, which was fantastic. So I am all in for this. Is it anything I'm missing right now, Mo? That we didn't go
There
over?
was so much going on, man. I'm trying to think right now because there was a lot going on here. Let me think.
I mean, because we had so many cameos, and to think like I don't know how many of those characters were killed off, or if they're going to keep them dead, or if they're going to bring them all back. Um, I'd like to see them keep some of them dead, just because there should be some, and I think they will, some consequence to actions like this, or that results to actions like this, or deaths, where that massive, huge, scary sentinel comes out of nowhere, right? Imagine that you're at a party and this giant, like, 100, 200-foot robot shows up, right? Drop, no, probably bigger than that, because it's dropping other, like, 50-foot robots from it, like an army of 50-foot robots from it. And it's like, boom, things blow up, giant robots attacking you, and it's like you have three X-Men there that are really kind of handling everything. It felt like, I don't know where everybody else went, but it seemed like it was just the X-Men handling everything at that point. Those Gambit, Rogue, and Magneto. Uh, but yeah, to see Magneto sacrifice himself, do his best to save Rogue, and it's like Rogue got two guys fighting over her and doing their best to save her. Gambit saves her with the bike, right? But hitting her with the bike, right? And it's like this is such an awesome episode. I was just so blown away by this episode. I did not expect it to be this. And the
Dude.
name of the episode, sorry, the name of the episode, remember it. That was Gambit's famous line. My name's Gambit. Remember it.
Well, I remember it, Gambit. I remember you, boy. I remember you.
All right. So again, we're looking forward to episode 6 to get the wrap up of Life Death, but I'm really, really looking forward to episode, I think, 7. We pick up from this and see the aftermath of what happened here, and I get more my boy Cable coming up soon. Mark, any last thoughts?
We gotta get Storm's powers back, man, so we can go all out.
Oh yeah,
No.
I'm with you on that. Still a full power Storm going at these, whoever did this is gonna be a problem. For me, again, like I said, I'm just looking forward. I don't know what's up next. I mean, I'm kind of trying not to look too far ahead in any descriptions or anything. But this has been wild. I'm definitely digging this. But
I want to know if we're gonna see more of Cable, because that was
oh, we definitely
interesting,
are.
him coming back. Because I'm like the way he came back, it was like I was trying to figure out. It didn't seem like I guess he had control on the whole thing of him jumping in and out of where time is.
Yeah, he was on a timer.
Yeah.
He was on. He didn't get there in time, and that's he was on timer. And we're definitely gonna get more Cable. That's a given, because remember he said to Madeline was he was too late. It's almost like he had done this a few times before.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got. That this
it hadn't gotten that far. Yeah. So we got a little bit of that Terminator, guy coming from the future to save coming to the past from the future to save the future. But that's kind of Cable's niche there, his thing. So we're definitely gonna get a bunch more Cable. I'm hoping we get to see a bit more Bishop as well. The time traveler buddies there. But yeah, this has been great. I'm looking forward to so much more.
Make sure y'all see episode 5, man. It is this. That's some next level stuff right there, man. The writing is amazing on that.
Absolutely surprised. Wow. It's definitely surprised me. It was really, really good. So other than that, folks, thanks again for joining us. This was our review of X-Men 97 episode 5. Please again like, subscribe, share, comment, and we will see you guys next time. Much love to Gambit.